All right, so um, well, some people might wonder, well, Shane, are you into S&M or bondage or you know rough sex? Not really. No, no. All right, that's another thing the shipmates might could have used to scare Sheen off. I don't know. But again, um, that would be projecting their desires onto her, not mine. I don't know. I don't know. Now, someone recently, it sounded like, was quoting the movie Sheena with Tanya Roberts in it and talking about the Zambuli or something, right? Which is in the movie where they were going to genocide them or something, right? And I don't know. I don't know. Genocide, though, goes on in the real world, too. I'm not for that, right? Right. For the destruction of any race of God, any child of God, right? Because we're all from the same source, even if there's a hybrid with Satan, Adam and Eve, right? The hybrid is not the problem. The parent sin that created the hybrid can be forgiven, right? See, that's what you don't want to do about it, right? Well, see, another thing isn't that sin is a sin, right? What it is that sin is always sin, right? If you see it as sin, right? If you think you're making a mistake, what is the mistake? Like Giuliani. Well, this young woman approached him to go to a motel room with him, and he did something. But society, right, in America says he can't do that. If he was in Amsterdam, he would be fine. It's legal there, right? So the problem is sometimes the law itself. Not letting a man, enjoy a lovely female for a few minutes or whatever, however long, maybe 5, 10 minutes tops. But who cares, right? People who want to get into your business, that's who cares. People who don't think that should be illegal. Why? Have you ever tried it? You ain't like it. yourself. Why do you think people do it in the first place? It's fun. It's fun. It feels good. It feels good. Anything that feels good can't be that wrong, right? Like Sheryl Crow sings, "If it makes you happy, can't be that bad." Uh, But if it makes you happy, why have you so sad? I don't know. Because other people want to rain on your parade. Because other people want to rain on your parade. And don't tell me, like I said, certain prophets didn't and weren't allowed to be with harlots. And Samson is one, and Hosea is one. All you need is two. All you need is two, actually. Actually, I know. And again, and again. One tried to marry one, but that would be a rocky relationship, though. Right? Now, yes, he wanted her to be only for him, but you don't know the rest of the prophet's life, but what he left behind in the Bible that you use to be a moral high ground anyway. But you got to remember, he did buy the woman he married. Right? Who did he buy her from? I assume her pimp. Right? Who you gonna pay? If the woman's a prostitute or a harlot, her pimp. So he paid the pimp 15 shekels of silver and a homer and a half of barley or whatever, right? That means, right? And bought her from him, right? To be his wife. It's the same as going to the father and asking her hand in marriage, right? And paying her dowry, right? Which either way, in ancient times, you had to pay a dowry to get a woman, right? So you're buying her from her father, technically, right? But what about free sex? That's what I'm talking about, too. If you don't charge me for sex and we have sex, it's still free sex. It's not illegal then, right? right? She's my girlfriend. Even if I have a bunch of girlfriends I'm having sex with, if I let them know, hey, I want to have sex with a bunch of girlfriends, it's up to them to accept that or not, right? If I'm not, right, I'm not trying to either, right? I'm not worried about it one way or the other, right? But this is how people normally date. Even gay people, like I said, are more prone to be with more than one man because, again, the dating pool is kind of also about sex there too, right? But the thing is, there's safe sex and then unsafe sex. There's, if you got STD, you're supposed to let someone know and not have sex with them until you're either cured of the STD, right? Or you have to do something else to not infect your partner, and you got to care about them more than yourself, right? That's a problem with people too. In your quest for pleasure, if your pleasure outweighs the person's response and they don't want to do it, right? You're then forcing them to do it, which becomes a real crime called rape. I always do that. Since I was a little boy and watched The Clockwork Orange, right? But see, I would tell them that, and I know you don't rape nobody, male or female, male or female. I'll tell anyone that. Well, like I said, what did I do yesterday? I went to Applebee's and completed my little meal. No, they got me for Veterans Day, which was a 6-ounce steak, some macaroni with bacon and cheese, right? But it was different kind of macaroni, right? And then potatoes, mashed potatoes, right? Okay, and I got all that for free, and I only had to pay for the drink, right? And I left the waitress a tip for at least $2, because the meal wouldn't have been more than 10, which is a 20% tip, right? I do that too. But that's the point. When someone lies to you about someone else and you don't really know them to begin with, and you haven't had sex with them, Gina, and you know something is different suddenly, how did I start writing you? Handwritten letters. I sent you a card or two, so did you, me? Right, I remember that. Do you? How'd you write me? I wrote you normally the whole time. The only ones who would have to use typewritten letters are the shipmates to make you think it was me. Stubborn. And how could they forge my signature, which is what it would be? The red tag. Answered. You gotta sign the red tags and you tear them up and throw them in the trash when you're done. That's hot. That's how. Okay. And my handwriting ain't for a long name. No. Shane Edward Lee, that's a short name. That's Shane E. Lee. That ain't even 8 letters or 9 letters, right? Shane is 5. E would be 6. And Lee is what? 9. Shane Lee is just 8, right? The full name, you got E. So you got DWARD, right? So that's 5 more letters to 9 is 14. Now, Paul said also, if you find a woman or a wife and you're single, right, that's okay if you don't, in other words. But if you do, that don't mean, again, you have to be all religious about that either. Whatever state you are in, married or unmarried, right, is your choice. Now, in Paul's opinion, however old he was when he came to Christ, since he was unmarried up to that point, he might not have sought a wife, right? He might not have sought a wife. Now, until, again, you reach a certain age, right, you might not even want a wife, right? You may. I wasn't with the woman until I was, what, 21? I know. Why is that? I'm trying to wait for marriage, idiot. Legal marriage, you a woman, right? That's what I was taught in the church, right? And I was trying to legally marry one first, Sheena, right? But I also know there's a thing called what? Premarital sex. Which Moses also allows for in the Bible, but you got to go to the Old Testament. But we're under grace, honey. What do you think grace means? You forgive the sin. You forgive the sin and get married after you have sex as well. I know. It don't mean you can't. Now, are some guys telling their girlfriends they love them just to get in their pants? Yeah, yeah. And taking advantage of their girlfriend's love of them? Yeah, yeah. But the problem is, if the girlfriend is in love with the guy, you can do about it. That's true, ain't it? I don't know. If she thinks she loves him and is gonna fuck him, she gonna fuck him. Ain't nothing you can say about it. If she don't, ain't nothing you can do about it either. If you're not a rapist or you don't care about her feelings more than yours, which is what you're supposed to do if you're a Christian. Sheena, I cared about you. I never stopped. I'm still your friend, even if you see me as a friend of me. I don't see you as an enemy. You were confused by someone else, or you took the dream the wrong way, like everyone in the church did, right? But it don't mean I'm lying. It don't mean you're lying from your perspective, right? But you don't know me before you met me, and I had told you I done been with 5 women. What do you think I meant? Sexually. You got to communicate back. You got to tell me, well, Shane, in our church, we don't have sex until we're married. I don't know what goes on in your church. Only mine. Some churches say that, but don't do that. It's true. And if people are having premarital sex now, Sheena, and I did it with you, I'm trying to make love to you. Not just wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, yeah. And in fact, I was singing you romantic songs after that. That's to keep you interested, silly. Not to dump your ass. But whatever. But now it should be over, right? Now I'm trying to let it all go, move on. From even you. In fact, that's why I met Daphne. Well, we had sex. I don't know if you wouldn't even be in hormonal because you were pregnant. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. I can only guess the most logical possibilities there. One is you didn't get pregnant. One is you did. The other one is you didn't. You got so mad with me, you threw yourself down the stairs on the ship. I don't know. But that's the only way you could do something like that. Because the Navy don't practice abortion with their sailors, male or female. Mm-hmm. You can't get an abortion if you're a male and you impregnate a female sailor, or vice versa. At all. In the Navy, when we were in the Navy, right? And that's all I know. If you did something, it would be while you're on ship, and the only thing you can do is throw yourself down the stairs or something and try to miscarry the baby, right? If you believe my shipmates, by the way, and not me, I'm not the real thing. And see, whatever they're writing you, that's their real mind. What I'm writing you is what a Christian would write his girlfriend, even if they had premarital sex, trying to encourage her, not discourage her. Trying to be there for her as a Christian man, right? And showing you what Pastor David showed me. That's all I can do, right? At least, see, he still has to teach the Bible, honey, right? And what does it say about becoming one flesh with your wife? She's bone of your bone and flesh of your flesh. That's how I was trying to treat you. Mm-hmm. Even if we just had sex before we could get legally married, we were overseas. We could have gotten married anywhere. That's why I talked about getting married in Jerusalem. I know. It's not impossible for both our ships to go there, but it didn't happen, but okay. Where can we marry after that? Norfolk, Virginia, right? Because, see, we're in the Mediterranean. Damn. Now, if again, right, it's a suggestion. And that's why I don't know what's going on when you get mad about it. I don't know if you mad because you didn't realize we had sex. I don't know what's going on, right? Maybe you wanted oral sex and not sex. I don't know. I don't know. But see, the problem is I can't talk to you when you're on one ship and I'm on the other. We can't see each other face to face to really communicate that way, you know. We have to rely on what? Letters. Which, if the person is making a mistake and they won't listen to you, you don't even know what's going on. Well, on her ship, I don't know. Or yours, if it's the shipmate's writing you, you're in the dark about that. That's what it means. Sabotage going that way. I don't know. And it's sabotage, right? If my shipmates wrote Sheena in my name, that's sabotaging our relationship before it really began, right? Fully. It started, right? They probably didn't even think I had sex with her. They probably even thought she was a man masquerading as a girl named Sheena. See. Because some people are so archaic in their thinking. She's a female on the ship. They thought I ran into a male probably and probably thought she was a man. I don't know. I'm guessing there too. But they're trying to make me gay. They're trying to make you gay. Whatever they wrote in any type letter, that's their perception of how they see life, not mine. Not mine. Whatever they said in those letters is how they feel, not me, not you. I'm a more lighthearted, romantic, pleasing my woman, making her feel so good she wants to orgasm. And she feels safe enough to orgasm with me. And that's why I talk about doing my tongue like a vibrator, right? Which is as simple as that. Uh-oh. I'll vibrate for you. Why is that? Because women are using it to masturbate with, and I got to compete with that too. Like I said, why do you think I go down? A lesbian goes down on a woman, right? Well, some women, if you want them, you might have to do that with them. I know. I'm letting them know it don't bother me, baby. I do what you want. I get some of that. I even lick it before I stick it. Right? You can even be on top sometimes, right? I'm not so dominating that you can't, explore sexual positions with me. At least 7. Now, I can't do, some of the weird positions in the Kama Sutra now where you got to put your leg over her leg and all that crap. But to me, that's just an eccentric sexual position you can do, but nah, you got to worry about it. Either. Bit too much for me, but okay, if you want to do it, you probably can. If you can't, right? They're showing you things you probably can actually do too, but that are complicated. The more you can try to do yoga with sex, though again, she can do the split on me, and I wouldn't care, right? No, the side split or the front split, right? You've heard of that, right? You picture a gymnast, right, or even a figure skater, if you're into all that. Well, some guys want the figure skater to do a split on them, right? While having sex, right? I've heard of all that, but again, then you get religious again. Oh, I gotta do the missionary. That's the only position I can do. No. It's not about that. Now, you mean in Eden you think they only did missionary because Adam didn't know better? Wasn't showed anything else, didn't ask Jesus if he could do anything else until the sin. Right. And then Satan introduced Eve to being on top, trying to hide his penis from Adam. making him think she was with the woman too, right? Which is why he might would allow it. If you see something with breasts having sex with your wife, you don't know what they're doing, but you might watch a little too to try to figure it out. That's where voyeurism comes from. Eden. After we started the sin. That's only a sin because we see it as a sin. We won't forgive it either. Do you see what I mean? And, you won't let bygones be bygones either. You won't get over it. It wasn't fun for one of the three the most, too, right? In the first menage a trois. Now, I'm sure Satan in his mind had it rough when he had the child with Adam. And again, I'm sure until he died, if Satan did rough sex with him, he can't let it go till he dies. Yeah. He had to live with that the rest of his life too, right? But only because he wouldn't forgive it and go to God to heal it. No. God can't heal you if you're like Satan. No. It can't even heal Satan if you're like Satan. No. You have to repent and quit being like Satan for God to heal you. Well, you're like, well, why is that? He's all powerful. It is, but you're not relying on the Spirit anymore. You're also a flesh and blood creature. Designed to feel pleasure or pain. And what? How someone does it. See, if you cut yourself, you what? Bleed. If you poke yourself a certain way, it can either cause pain or not, right? Again. If you do yourself gently like this, it don't hurt, right? If you don't and do that, it might hurt. It might hurt. That's the whole point. But see, I can only do a massage with anyone. I don't have more money than that, right? And I tell you up front, but if you let me show you a good time and you consider it equal, I know, or you like it and you don't want me to pay, that's up to you too, right? For it. Because you can't pay for sex in a massage parlor. You can't pay for sex in a strip club. You can either do it free or what? Not at all. Not at all. But the difference is I got to pay for the lap dance, right? That's legal. That's legal. But if me and the girl have sex and I pay for it, that's illegal. Now, say I tip. How much can I tip? Over 100%. That's the problem there too. Legally, if I tip her, we do the lap dance, say for 150, and I tip her another 150, right? I'm just still paying the $300 for what? Lap dance. The lap dance. They'd like to get you in a compromising position, right, Giuliani? Yeah, they'd like to get you in their life right in your face. Borat. They think you're so cute when they got you in their position. Well, I think it's a total disgrace. And I say, I fight authority, authority always wins. I fight authority, authority always wins. I've been doing it since I was a young kid and I come out grinning. But again, it fits the topic. I know it does. So it's also what? Educational. I'm using the lyrics to make a point. To teach you something with them. And the singer is who? John Cougar or John Cougar Mellencamp. Right. And again. He has a nom de plume. Cougar is the nom de plume. Mellencamp is supposed to be his real name, right? Now, to be fair use, that's all I gotta do with it. Explain what I'm doing with the song, right? As well, if I have to, if you're that silly and you don't understand, okay, I can explain it to you to make it something teaching, educational, right? And that's all you got to do to make it educational either. And that's why, again, they want to come down on what? Copyrighted material, especially singing, because they're trying to control the market. Yes. They can't do that either. That's illegal too. Yes, it is. That's why there is fair use in all copyrighted material, even the movies, right? George Lucas, though, he came up with the lightsaber. He's not the only one who can come up with that. No, he's not. Because basically, it's a beam of light that has energy like a sword, but can go so far like a sword, but can cut through you like a sword, right? But the light itself is the weapon, right? Now, like I said, the Bible says no weapon, past, present, or future, formed against us shall prosper, right? That means even the gun God knew about before you did. But you have to believe it and base it on something. Jesus was pierced through with the spear up to the heart, right? If he was resurrected after that, and healed with scars, right? Which is what stripes would be, by the way. Another way to say scars in ancient Hebrew to English might be stripes or scars, right? Now, if you're beaten like that, and your body heals, right, within 3 days, right, you would have what as a consequences, like with my ankle and the surgery scars. A scar. Right. Okay.